Hello, good morning. Welcome back to Victory Channel Television, where you get all those news that matter to us. Today, I have to come online to, give you some information because it has been a long time that I disseminated information on this very channel. Reason being that I lost my uncle in the US. So that's the reason. I'm heartbroken. But that won't stop the agitation. Information I have here now is that Nnamdi Kano's American lawyer Bruce Fan asked Ejiofor to withdraw from IPOB leaders' legal team immediately. This is a very critical and deep information I have for you. Bruce Fan, the American lawyer of the detained leader of indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kano, has written to Ifeanyi Ejiofor, a member of Nnamdi Kano's legal team, urging him to immediately refrain from representing the agitator. In the letter obtained by Sahara reporters, Fan noted that Ejiofor was not eligible to defend Kano against the Nigerian government amended charges in the court, citing a pending lawsuit instituted by the businessman against Ejiofor over an alleged fraud of 5.6 million naira. Friend pointed out that Ejiofor had a case to answer and that the allegations were not concocted by Nigerian government to preempt his representation of Nnamdi Kano. The American lawyer therefore urged Ejiofor to immediately withdraw from Kano's legal team. The letter reads, "How can you be blind to what all the world can see and understand? According to the public record, you have a blatant conflict of interest in representing Nnamdi Kano to defend against the federal government of Nigeria's amended charges in the Federal High Court of Nigeria, Abuja Judicial Division holding in Abuja. Charges number FHC ABJ CR 383-2015 in violation of Rule 10 of Rule of Professional Conduct. The public record shows you have a conflicting interest to sabotage Nnamdi Kano's defense in exchange for leniency or a pardon in pending fraud prosecution against you in FRN. Ifeanyi Ejiofor and two others, charge number CR 950-2020, court number 3, Federal High Court, Maitama, before Honorable Justice M.E. Aneni. The next hearing in your prosecution is scheduled for 30th of March 2022. The public record establishes that the fraud charges were not concocted by the federal government to preempt your representation of Nnamdi Kano. The record shows the charges were triggered by a complaint from a private businessman with no political or other ulterior motive to defame or handicap you, Opala Cosmas Ikechukwu. Among other things, he stated in a complaint to the Economic and Financial Crime Commission that you defrauded him of 5.6 million naira by conspiring to represent forged land or title document as authentic. Nothing in the public domain demonstrates that you shared your conflict of interest with Nnamdi Kano and received his knowing and voluntary written consent to represent him with notwithstanding the conflict. You are saddled with a professional and personal duty to recuse yourself immediately from further representation of Nnamdi Kano and to apologize for your neglect to do so earlier. As the Bible preaches, Matthew 6:24, no one can serve two masters. I expect you to do the right thing. Yet again, a powerful news this morning. This is coming from a white man that have the interests of humanity at heart. Knowing fully well that Nnamdi Kano is representing millions of people for their freedom fighting. He knows how important it is for Nnamdi Kano to win this case. He knows how important it is for Nnamdi Kano to be alive. Therefore, this man is defending with all he has. I want to tell Biafrans that white people are different. I want to tell Biafrans why Nnamdi Kano is doing what he's doing. Nnamdi Kano behaves like white people. It can only be him that will stand up to this point. It can only be Nnamdi Kano that will neglect every offer. It can only be Nnamdi Kano that can abandon his family, that can abandon every wealth or whatever. He is famous today because he abandoned himself. That is why you are hearing Nnamdi Kano up and down. He wants your freedom. He wants my freedom, my people. You see, white people are different. When Mazi laments over the radio about the black race, you would think he's joking, or he's insulting, or he doesn't have respect. But he knows what he's saying. You see, Bruce Fein he had come here for like 3 times, only for him to be rejected by the DSS because they are so afraid of him. They know he's as white as snow, just like Nnamdi Kano. He cannot be bribed. He cannot be bought nor be sold. That is why they don't want him to witness the trial. They rejected him the first time. He came the second time, they rejected him. He wrote to the whole world that this is fraudulent. What Nigerian government is doing to a freedom fighter. But then nobody knows that Ifeanyi Ejiofor, the man I love so much, the man I believe so much, nobody knows that he has his hand in dirty games. There's this adage that whoever that places his hand on the plow should not look back. And indeed, he has looked back and cannot represent Biafrans. My heart bleeds. What life is this? And I believe IPOP is paying him more than enough. Why would he look back to dent and defame his name, not knowing that what goes around comes around? But I want to remind Biafrans that Ozokome needs your prayers. He's indeed a legal giant. He's a son. He has conscience. For him, the day I noticed that he is to lead out, my heart was joyous. I was triggered with joy because I know, number one is that he's not an Igbo man, but Ejiofor is an Igbo man. So it will look as if it's Igbo thing. This is Biafran thing we are talking about. So for that Mike Ozokome to be the leader of the team right now, victory is assured, my people. And that is why Nigerian government has resolved to linger in this case for no just cause. The man is capable to defend Nnamdi Kano. As it stands, you can see, my people, that his hands are clean. He has clean records. Reason being that he defends the right things. How can you be defending a property that you know that is not for that particular person that presented that case. As a man of conscience that you ought to be, at least everybody should tell you the truth before you take up the case. You ought to have told him that you cannot defend fraud. You can't defend, this is for the defamation of your name as a lawyer. Now you say, Bruce Fein